to Kenyan citizens. Welcome, and this is the Current Affairs segment, your trusted source for the latest news, insightful discussions, and impactful stories shaping our nation and beyond. I'm Angela Kabete, and together with Mr. Kimotho, we'll dive into the latest headlines and uncover the truth behind the news of what has been happening that is in our country and beyond. So make sure that you stay tuned as we break it down right here, right now. Mr. Kimotho.
Yes.
A very good morning to you.
Good morning too.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You're good?
Kabisa.
Salimia watazamaji.
Nataka kuwasalimia na pia kuwakaribisha kwenye program hii so that we can see what has been happening. And thank you for being there and waiting for us so that we can discuss. Karibuni sana.
And before anything else, it is always an honor to give you that is the verse of the day. So today's verse comes from, that is Isaiah 26 verse 3, and this is what it says: Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. So inaanza kwa kusema thou will keep him in perfect peace. Because your partner, it's God promising that he'll give us complete peace, not something that is temporary. Because most of the times when you trust, sometimes we as human beings want to source our peace from other places, from people, from external surrounding. We forget that the only satisfaction, the only complete peace that you can get as a Christian, as a believer, as a human being, comes from God. And actually it also brings, that is calmness. And you cannot get peace from a place that you don't rely on. So it means that you need to rely first on God and trusting that he's going to give you that peace. Alafu inaendelea kwa kusema whose mind is stayed on thee. It means that hiyo part inasema stayed, it means that your mind is focused on Christ. Your mind is anchored on Christ. There is no other place that you rely on. You only rely on God. All your confidence, all your attention as a believer, you rely on this God. And then it continues and says, because he trusted in thee. So it means that trust is the foundation of peace, so that you can get it from God. And you know, when you trust something, you have stability, you have confidence, and you're sure you are going to get it. So you as a believer, keep your heart and thoughts centered in Christ, anchored in Christ each and every day. Mr. Kimotho, what's your take on this?
Just to add on what we have been saying on this week, because pia ukiangalia pale kuna ile the peace. Because whenever now you have peace in God, it means pia ile trust bado inakuwa builded pale, inakuwa iko sawa. So I think the best thing we can do is just to try as much as we can to have that, to find that peace. And that peace wakati unaifind kwa Mungu, it shows that even the trust that you have built completely and everything itakuwa sawa. Because whenever you trust on that is for example, if you trust on a person, it means that you have hope, you have so many things ambazo ziko pale. But whenever now you trust on God, you are sure that everything else is going to be in control. And especially kama saizi watu kuna changamoto mingi ambazo ziko pale, let us try as much as we can to find peace in God.
Yeah. And that is the verse of the day. Now let's hear what has been happening, because each and every day there are new stories, and it is our responsibility to make sure that you as a Kenyan citizen out there, you stay updated of what is happening that is in our country and beyond. I have my Daily Nation with me.
I have the Standard newspaper.
And on today's Daily Nation, this is some of the highlights of what we'll be checking out. Tutaangalia the health sector, that is the SHA. Alafu tutaangalia that is the education sector, matters to do with KCSE and exam certificates. And then we'll be checking a little bit of politics. Tutaangalia probably that is legal and crime and other stories. What about you?
Yeah, kiangalia ku Standard leo iko na mambo ya environment, kuna politics, na iko some other legal issues ambazo ninaona among the other stories ambazo tutaziangazia.
Okay. So you're going to start with the Standard?
So kwa gazeti la Standard naona leo wameangazia mambo ya lecturer strike, and something that has been going on, something ambayo tumekuwa tukiana pale. It is also something that is affecting the ministry that is of education. And unajua sasa hii strike imetokana kwa sababu kuna yale masuala ambayo wamekuwa kipush na wamekuwa kiforward, na bado wanaona pengine ni kama bado hayajapewa kipaumbele, depending with how now they have been raising these issues. So I can see the standard wanasema lecturers strike put an pending pressure on learners and parents. Pia nikiangalia hapa wanasema students bear brand as state lecturers lock on over the pay. So hii ni mvutano ambao umekuwa pale na ni mvutano ambao umeendelea, na you can imagine now right now kuna wale ambao walikuwa wamejiprepare now to to graduate. So inamaanisha kuna issues ambazo zitakuwa ziko pale, kuna effects ambazo zitakuwa pale. Kuna wale ambao pia walikuwa wamejoin recently now the universities. So naona kuna ile effect ambayo itakuwa pale. So now what is going out to be the outcome? The outcome, wakati kama kuna mtu amekuwa delayed ku graduate, inamaanisha atakuwa bado na challenges wakati when it comes now to the issue of employment. Pia inamaanisha kanini, that is a time frame yake pia may change, because we don't know now what is going out to, we don't know how long this the strike is going out to go on. So students worry over missed lecturer, that is skip graduations and unbudgeted expenses. As the strike goes on, some wonder whether they will get additional, that is a student's loan. So ukiangalia unajua hakuna ile extension. For instance, for example, kama kuna ile help ama kuna any msaada ambao for example mtu anapokea, kuna ile calculated time ambayo imepatiwa. So inamaanisha wakati kuna another term ama another semester ambayo inakuwa pushed, inamaanisha that is the burden is going out to be upon the student. Na wakati the burden inakuwa on student, it goes back now to the to the parents. So 500,000, that is a number of affected students across all public universities, including thousands of first years who joined a month ago. Contagious, that is billions. So 16.5 billion total cost of CBA as ruled by the Employment and Labor Relation Court in January 2021, according now to the organization now of the union, the lecturers. 8.8 billion government's initial cost of the CBA. 7.9 billion what union says is the unpaid amount under the CBA. 624 million outstanding balance according now to the government. Ukiangalia bado kuna push and pull kwa ile balance ambayo iko pale. So na repercussion ambazo ziko hapa hivi. For example, sasa kama tukiangalia hapa kuna a medical student ambaye naona ameangazia hapa, anasema some medical students at my university who study for 6 academic year are now in their in their 10th year due to frequent lecturer strike at the institutions. It's very unfair, because unaona sasa kuna ile time ambayo imepush 6 years sio mchezo. 6 years bado anakula kitabu. Then ameona sasa, kwa sababu unajua especially kama mu university kuna pia another time walikuwa strike na ilikuwa imefungwa I think for almost either 1 year and a half or 2 years. Na unajua wakati inafungwa before tena resume, inamaanisha pia the calendar ina change. So ukiangalia now this is going to be a burden ambayo bado itakuwa ni kwa huyu mwanafunzi, na pia itakuwa bado ni kwa mzazi, among the other the other issues ambazo nikiangalia hapa. Nikiangalia pia that is kuna mwingine pia anaitwa that is Edwin Okiki, a final year student, say that he has already depleted his higher education loan. Already amesha tumia help yake yote imeisha. I am the son of a peasant farmer. My parents pay for my accommodation and I'm just staying in my hostel room doing nothing. I still have to pay the rent, and buy food, but I'm literally doing nothing. So ukiangalia now it's also very frustrating, because kuna siku pia tuliongea mambo ya university student waweze kukumbukwa, because kuna the issue pia ambayo imekuwa ikiendelea ya the mental issues and also the pressure, because unajua huyu mwanafunzi kuna ile pressure ambayo inatokana na wazazi na society. Wewe tumejitolea tukusomeshe ili ukuje usaidie watu wenyu, ukuje usaidie watoto wenyu, ukuje usaidie society, ukuje ufanye mambo yale mengine ambayo yako pale. Then wakati neno pale constitution unaona kuna pressure kama hii ambayo inatokana pale, the pressure in amount from the government, the pressure in amount now from the lecturers, the pressure pia in amount hata lazima kuwa na mawazo mengi. Sasa nikitoka kule nje, now what will happen, especially kama wewe ni medic ambaye anasoma hapa, anaona bado madaktari wale ambao waliajiriwa before him or her bado wana strike kwa sababu ya masuala kadhaa ambayo yako pale. So kuna a lot of pressure ambayo iko pale, and it's something that needs to be really addressed in a wider angle, because kama huyu sasa mwanafunzi mmoja ambaye anaitwa Edwin anasema ya kwamba saizi anakaa tu kwa hostel, he's doing nothing. Hakuna kitu ambacho anafanya. Unajua hakuna mahali ati anaweza ambia kimbia ujishikilie kabla tungoje, hakuna. Because ukienda pale kwa that is wakati unatafuta kazi, ulizo watupatie nini education certificate zako. Tena ukifika pale unaulizwa tupatie, tunataka kujua your own experience ambayo iko pale. So unaona kuna a lot of challenges ambazo ziko pale. We are really hoping that the issue of the university student is going now to be really addressed and really taken care of, to see kuwe ile nation ya kwamba hawa unajua inataka higher education. So tuna assume hawa ni watu ambao wamekomaa, ni watu wata understand. At the same time they are still human beings. At the same time kuna ile time frame and target ambao pia nao wako nayo. And we are really hoping that the Ministry of Education is going to assist the 500,000 students ambao wamekuwa affected by the university strike.
And in addition to the education sector, that is page 1 of the Daily Nation, I can see head teachers lose power over KCSE exam certificates, and faced with this is the reason, the things that are led to this decision is they say that faced with rising complaints by parents and students about schools withholding exam certificates until fees arrears are paid or other clearance conditions are met, the government will now send documents to the sub-county offices from where students will collect them effectively bypassing the principals. But I can see there is a sentiment from Kesha, Anitwa Kesha chairperson Willy Kuria, and they say that we completely have no problem with that decision. In most cases, it is the students who fail to come for the certificates. So watu watakuwa naenda kuchukua certificates in their sub counties, zitakuwa zinatumwa huko, and they're saying that the CS, that is Mr. Gamba, stated that it was illegal for principals to punish students for their parents' mistakes since they committed to pay school fees. All the certificates they are withholding bear the name of the student, not the name of the parent. No school has a contractual agreement with the student to pay fees. They have a contractual agreement with the parents. That is what Mr. Gamba said. So we have to see if it will be implemented.
Yeah, and also it needs to be written.
Yeah.
Because even if they issue the instruction and it is not written, huyu mwalimu ama the officers atakuwa na reference point gani ya kuweza kuinitialize what they are doing. So they should make sure that they write to the subsequent directors ili wakuwe na hiyo evidence ndio waweze kukamilisha kile ambacho kiko.
That's true.
Yes.
And another stories that is page 1 of the Daily Nation. I can see here they're saying that Gideon bows to Ruto's pressure, and they say that KANU chairman Gideon Moi was no show yesterday during submission of the nomination papers to the electoral agency for clearance to contest for the Baringo Senate seat, coming a day after meeting President Ruto at State House, where he was asked to step down in the favor of ruling party candidate. His decision is to quit. Left his supporters high and dry. So that story is on page 7, and they're saying that why Moi pulled out of Baringo Senate, and they're saying that in a dramatic turn of events, KANU chairman Gideon Moi yesterday dropped out of the Baringo Senate race in favor of the UDA candidate, that is Vincent Chemite, who is backed by President William Ruto. Is this a good thing, Mr. Kimotho? It doesn't sound good.
It's called calculation moves, because I think there's something that we need to understand. Because even if our politicians wako vile ambavyo walivyo, they have their own their own games ambazo huwa wanafanya pale. Na kila mtu akienda pale kuna yale kuna yule mtazamo ambao huwa wanaangalia. Maybe for example Gideon Moi vile ambavyo hakupeleka nomination papers zake, pengine yeye mwenyewe hajisikii na hataki kukua si unajua already amewahi kuwa senator. Maybe yeye ana aim for governor, maybe ana aim pia kukua presidential candidate. So kuna mambo mengi pia, kuna so many other move ambazo zina calculate pale. Na pia at the same time kumbuke hao politicians ni wale waletu wamekuwa pale. Hao watu kwa hii regime wamekuweko, wote wamekuwa kwa regime that is ya Moi, regime ya Kibaki, wote walikuwa pia kwa regime ya that is Uhuru, that is Kenyatta. So hawa wote tu tunawaangalia tu kwa vile tu ambavyo watakuwa wakifanya, and we should expect for more like these things to be happening.
We should expect this more?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, because I can see here, multiple sources told the nation that their abrupt move was occasioned by business considerations. The family of the former president, Daniel Moi, had publicly complained that Kenya Kwanza administration had weaponized the Kenya Revenue Authority to deal with them. So, and also I can see here there is a sentiment that is from the status official. His request were in terms of his business. You know, his business have been doing badly in the last 3 years. So I don't know how this is connected, but who ndio wanajua.
And unajua, despite of them being a politicians, they still have their own personal business issues, family issues ambazo ziko pale, and so many other factors ambazo ziko pale. So wakati do you know also at the same time, hata ukiweza pokea invitation from the president, you can't deny it. Yeah, the invitation you can't deny it. You know, unajua ni nzuri saa zingine watu that is kuweza kudiscuss some of these things, even if you umekuwa invited personally. Unajua watu wanaweza ongea tu pale publicly about everything else, because it is a privilege and also it is also an opportunity. And at the same time pia nafikiria, you know, the former senator Gideon Moi, nafikiria pia ni kitambo tangu pia aweza kutembea kule State House. Unajua pia nao, you know, his late father alikuwa president, so alikuwa amezoea kule State House kila here and there. Pia alikuwa ameenda pia kuangalia vile ambavyo kulikuwa ama vile ambavyo kunaendelea. But the fact remains, we should expect more of this now from our own politicians, because kuna dynamic ambayo ina change saa hizi depending now with the area, because people need also now to understand that our local politics bado iko based on ethnicity, bado iko based on regions, bado iko based na so many other factors ambazo ziko hapa, and also, especially where now Gideon Moi comes from, pia ni ngome ambayo inajulikana sana ni ngome that is na ufuasi mwingi wa our president unatokana na hiyo region. So there are so many other factors ambazo zinaangalia, and it is a wake up call, so that now we should tusiwe tu otipale constantly. Tunafaa pia tuwe flexible, and we should not be caught in so much you know, unaware of these surprises. Acha tukue flexible, because mambo ya siasa bado tutayaona mengi. Tushaingia msimu wa siasa, bado tutayaona mengi ambayo yatakuwa yakikuja.
Okay.
Yes.
And another stories what do you have there?
Nikiangalia that is the standard on page 8. Inaona hapa imeangazia wakisema East African leaders accused of united against state critics ambazo zimekuwa ziko pale. Na nikiangalia gazeti hili that is limeweza kuangazia the three president, that is kuna our president that is William Ruto, kuna Tanzania president that is Samia Suluhu, pia kuna Ugandan president that is Yoweri Museveni, ambayo that is hii picha imewekwa hapo, walikuwa summit in 2019 kwa sababu yote imewaangazia wote watatu. Na that is nikiangalia hapa gazeti la Standard ambao lime na kuna watu wengi ambao naona hapa wametoa maoni yao, including that is the Vocal African CEO Hussein Khalid, ambaye anasema it is clear that our government are working together to suppress our freedoms and violate our rights. As people we need to come together. So I think now wakati anasema as people we need, he is also now stating now to the to the citizens of the three nation, because tumekuwa tukiona kuna issues ambazo zimekuwa zikifanyika in our nation. Tumekuwa tukiona activists wamekuwa that is apprehended, kuna abductions zimekuwa zikiwa pale. Pia recently tumeona our own activists wakati wanajaribu ku access in other nations, kama kuna a few of them ambao walikuwa wamejaribu kuenda that is kule Tanzania, na tuliona ile effect ambayo ilifanyika, kama yale mambo ambayo yalifanyika pale JKIA na pia kwa the other airport pale hawakuwa cleared. Then at the same time pia tuliona some of the activists at the same time yale maswala ambayo yaliweza kuyafanyikia pale Uganda. Pia kuna Uganda resident ambayo pia alikuwa apprehended akiwa in our nation, na pia and so forth of those cases ambazo zimekuwa zikiendelea pale. So kulingana na yule ambaye ameandika hii article, amejaribu that is kuweza kuangalia maswala kama hayo ndio yamekuwa yakifanyika, and I think if the same leaders can unite, because tumekuwa na kama juzi tumekuwa pia na COMESA summit ambayo imekuwa hapa recently, tumekuwa pia na na ile muungano wa that is the African Union. If all these leaders can unite, and kwanza jana niliona walitoa a very good thing, I hope itakuwa initialize mambo ya visa, kutokuwa na visa free in Africa. I think maybe hiyo kitu wakiweza fanya vizuri, so that ukiwa Mkenya ukitaka kutoka hapo, ukitaka kwenda Angola, hakutakuwa na hii issue ambayo itakuzuia pale. Ukitaka kutoka hapa uende that is any other country ambayo iko in Africa, hakutakuwa na ile limitation ambayo iko pale. Then at the same time, kama kuna ile free of goods ambazo zinaweza toka, that is from one nation to another, inaweza tusaidia sana, because pia we can also try now to commercialize what the products that we have within the African region. Inaweza kuwa mzuri, because utakuta kuna other nations, they are good in this but they are not good in other things. Pia in our nation kuna vitu mingi sana huwa tuna that is tuna import na zingine tuna export. So I think it's something ambayo wakiweza angazia inaweza kuwa mzuri, so that now they can be able now to change from the the normal ideology ambayo imekuwa pale. So this is some of the things ambazo ninaona imeangazia hapa. Tunaweza kumka tu kama that is kuna kama Boniface Mwangi, tuliona yale mambo ambayo yalifanyika. Kuna Mobili Mwagodi ambayo tuliona mambo ambayo yalifanyika hupi na wa Tanzania. Kuna Njagi ambayo tumeona mambo yakifanyika. So hii ni mambo ya activist ambayo imekuwa ikiendelea pale, na pia unajua kuna ile freedom of expression, something that also needs now to be addressed. Pia at the same time, we also as the citizens, we are also not also supposed to go against the constitution, because there is no way pia unaweza toka from one nation to another when upeleke kitu ambayo inaitwa incitement. Especially pia there was a time pia kulikuwa, I think in Uganda walikuwa na election ambazo zilikuwa zinaendelea pale, na ilionekana ni kama kuna mambo fulani ambayo inaweza leta incitement ambayo iko pale. So at the same time, even if we are trying now to exercise our freedom in our East African that is nation, let us also respect the rule of law of that nation, the rule of law even to our own nation, because everything is entangled within the constitution. And the other thing is that whenever you try to do, just ask yourself, between you and the government, ni nani ambaye ataweza kushinda? Unajua saa zingine is always good to ask yourself some of those questions, because the government, unajua, it is a very strong arm ambayo iko pale, but let us make sure that now we try to utilize our energy in positive things ambayo itatuweza kutusaidia, na itaweza pia kuleta uhusiano mwema between us and the other neighboring nation ambazo ziko within us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have mentioned something to do with this. As I can see here, that is page 6 of the Daily Nation. It's also mentioned. And Ruto, that is our president, pledges visa-free in Africa. And President William Ruto yesterday pledged to spearhead the removal of visas across Africa and resolve conflicts plaguing parts of the continent as he assumed leadership of a key regional bloc. Dr. Ruto took over as the chairperson of the Common Market of East Africa and Southern Africa from Burundi. That President Anita, that is Nyayishimiye during the 24th COMESA Heads of State Summit. And in addition to that, the president congratulated Burundi for joining Kenya in lifting visa requirements for African countries and pledged to work towards raising intra-African trade from the 14% to over 50%. This sounds like a good thing. And in addition to that, he urged members of states to add value to raw materials, saying we must stop being exporters of raw materials by processing and adding value. We not only create jobs but also develop market within our continent. This is a good thing.
Yeah.
And Dr. Ruto further cautioned that is cautioned against the new NTBS, and I guess that is the non-tariff barriers, where trade agreements already exist, calling for a shift from competition to collaboration, from exporting raw materials to building that is value chains that retain wealth within our borders. Also, our president promised to lead the region on digital transformation drive, and saying digitalization will open borders and spur intra-African trade. It is my firm conviction, that is what the president said, it is my firm conviction that the future of prosperity and our rightful place in the global economy will be redefined by how effectively we harness the transformative power of digital technology. That is what the president said.
Yeah.
All these things the Nyamesema he's going to implement. They sound good, right?
It is the best thing, eh?
Yeah.
Because unajua, I think sometimes if we don't realize the potential we have, sometimes we might keep on complaining forever kwa sababu ya kutojua. I think it's high time also the African leaders, they need now to unite and they see the potential they have.
Yeah.
Because everything ambayo pia inakuwa exported, that is kwa nchi za, that is in other continents, most of the 80% wanatoka huko Africa. It's just only a few things ambazo, and surprisingly unakuta, for example, kuna some of the raw materials zinatoka hapa, unakuta kama cotton inatoka in African nation, inaenda other places, other continent like China and Germany and other places, then wanaenda wanatengeneza nguo, then nguo zinakuja tena tunauzia huko. Na cotton inatoka huko. So you can imagine cotton ikiza toka huko, tuko na factory ambayo tuko nayo, kama huko kwetu tuko na Rivertex ambayo tuko nayo hapa. You can imagine the potential that we have. But kwa sababu kuna ile colonization, economic colonization ambayo bado tuko nayo, sasa zingine ndio unaona sasa some of the other nations wanakimbia, wanatuambia mnahitaji pesa ngapi, billion, sisi tutawapea hizi billion. So unaona bado tunazidi kufungwa, nao pia kuna kitu ambacho wanakuja nacho pale that is behind it. But it is one of the best thing as the African leaders now wakianza now kufocus now to open the opportunities, inaweza kuwa kitu ambayo ni mzuri sana. Na it is also one thing ambayo pia in history ilikuwa imeanzishwa na president wa Libya ambaye alikuwa anaitwa that is Gaddafi. He had tried now to come with the same ideology at that time, but at that time nafikiria watu hao wamefunguka, that is mawazo ya kuweza kucope na hiyo maneno. But the best thing that they can do, hiyo mambo ya visa free in all the African nations inasaidia sana, because tumekuwa tukiona in other state, in other continents imekuwa ikiwasaidia pia na wao, and it can also be one of the best thing that we can help each other whenever we come together. Yes.
Okay. And away from that, what do you think?
In the corridors of justice, there is an interesting story ambayo ninaona hapa imeangazia kwa gazeti la Standard page 3. Woman admits buying child for 30,500. Boy reunites with the mom. Biological mother unites with a 6-year-old son in court. Woman confesses, ask the magistrate to allow her bring the seller. So kuna kuna huyu mtoto ambaye alipotea in May last year, na hii kesi ilikuwa inaangaziwa pale Eldoret court. Na kuna that is nikiona hapa naona kuna Monica Komboka urged principal magistrate, that is Chirano, to release her so that she could bring forward the woman who sold that is who sold her the child. So ukiangalia ni kama sasa huyu alikuwa apprehended sababu ya mambo ya child trafficking, na you can imagine to the essence that is there. Ukiangalia sasa hii alifanya for 30,000, that is 500 Kenya shillings. And it's something that needs to be addressed in her, that is in her issue, in her case. Then at the same time also now pia kuna urge ya how these cases ambazo zimekuwa zikirise, because ukiangalia in our local television hakuna siku ama wiki ambayo inaweza kuisha na hatujasikia mtoto amepotea. So it shows you that also in our investigation officers, they need also to come up with something. They need also now to come up with a reality, because what could have made this that is Monica Komboka achukue 30,500 shillings ili aweze kuchukua mtoto wa mtu aweze kumpatiana kwa yule mtu mwingine. You can also see that there is a difference between when she was doing that act, and also there is a difference between right now the way she is responding. Because hizi hadi yeye mwenyewe anajitorea na ambia magistrate, kindly allow me to go and bring the person that I sold the child to, pia naye akuwa apprehended. Because even if kama kuna ile that is mtoto amekuwa amekuwa united na the biological mother, is also they need now to dig in and see now these cases mahali zinaelekea, na wajue hasa huyu ambaye alikuwa ameamua kufanya hichi kitendo, mwenye alikuwa ameamua sasa kutumia Monica ili aweze kumuenda kumtafutia mtoto na aweze kumlipa. Hii ni kitu ambayo inafaa sasa iweze kuangaliwa. because what has been happening, tumekuwa tukiangalia nao yule ambao anakuwa the victim ni wale ambao wanatumia hapa katikati, but wale ambao wako na hiki kitendo, because we never know, pengine huyu maybe mwenye akona hichi kitendo pengine amekuwa kihusika na na child trafficking ya mambo mengine ambayo amekuwa yako pale, and especially kama saizi the issue of trafficking imeenea sana. Na tumekuwa tukiona some of these cases ambazo zimekuwa ziko pale. So this is something ambayo it is also a good thing, because also now to the biological mother, after being able now to amekuwa ameunite pamoja na mtoto wake baada ya huyu mtoto that is kuweza kupotea, that is on May last year. So it also inatuonesha kwamba even the agency ambao wanafanya uchunguzi wanafanya kazi mzuri, sababu tunaona hapa hiyo ni kitu ambayo ilifanyika, but at the same time you also need also now to address some of these issues, because tumekuwa tukiona hizi haya maneno that is yakiendelea. So nikiangalia that is the boy's mother anasema, I receive a call now from the police instructing me to come in. They showed me a photography of a boy and asked if he was my lost son. At first I lost strength, but I later confirmed he was my son. So ukiangalia pia also our police officers, they also doing a very good job, because we have a well trained officers ambao wametrainiwa na wana na wako na ujuzi ya kufanya haya mambo ambayo yako nayo hapa. So inakuonesha kwamba if we can strengthen the security forces, to strengthen to patrol the equipment and everything that they need, it means that they can be able now to do something good. And also now to the mother, sababu unajua wakati mtoto amepotea now from last year, and then unapigia simu unaambia amepatikana, pia unaona pia ni furaha ambayo ilikuwa pale, because pia amekuwa tormented psychologically, sababu hiyo kitu kukaa na hajui mtoto wake mahali yako, hiyo ni kitu ambayo ni traumatizing. So this issue, it needs to be addressed in all corners, in all angles, so that hii issue that is iweze kukoma na kukwisha kabisa, because tumekuwa tukiona some of these cases kiweza kurise, and also investigation officers wakiweza saidia sana ili wajue kiini cha haya mambo yote, inaweza kuwa ni kitu ambacho ni kitu kizuri sana.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, and another story is that is page 4 of the Daily Nation. There is an article here, and it shows how some hospitals and clinics have built, that is the Caesarean section, that is the CS procedure under SHA, while even if the patient had that is normal delivery. And they say that fake CS section, face C-section, a clinic now and a probe as SHA fraud trail widens. And more than 1,800 health facilities are an investigation in multi-billion shilling medical billing. And at a glance here, they have highlighted that is a scandal of the Caesarean section that never existed. And they say that the DCI probe indicates that St. Mark's Orthodox Health Center in Vihiga was paid, that is 285,000 by SHA. That was the amount that was paid, and then because they claim that the patient alipitia, that is the Caesarean section, while normal delivery cost ni 10,000, claiming to have conducted a Caesarean section and nursed the mother and the baby for a week. The baby is now 5 months old, and the mother is is a witness in that. The mother is a witness in the case. And I can see they say that as I've read, the mother is now 5 months, and she's a witness in the case. And the funny thing is the mother went through a normal delivery. Yeah, and that is a lot of money. Yeah, I hope they'll do something about it, because in a later matters to do with trust and accountability of those people when you walikuwa na approve hizi pesa ziende huko. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope they'll do something about it, right?
Yes.
Okay. And as we wind up, we have that that is 4 minutes. You have something?
Today is Mazingira Day.
Mazingira Day. Okay.
Unajua sa mambo yali change. Kuna vile ambavyo tulikuwa tumezoea hii siku ilikuwa inaitwa. So nikiangalia hapa, ninaona Kenya Climate promises that is faces big test as 71 million tree campaign begins. So kuna ile target ambayo the ministry iko nayo. State aims to plant 71 million that is fruit trees in one day to boost that is the climate action ambayo iko pale. And it is a determination. Na pia tumekuwa tukiona that is the government imekuwa so much into it. Tumekuwa tukiona the CS kama wakienda that is kuweza kupanda miti na kuweza kuinitialize this program. Tumekuwa tukiona mashule pia yakiweza kufanya the same thing, because if we don't take care of the environment tutakuwa na that is a negative effect ambazo zitakuja pale. So na nikiangalia kuna expected na pia kuna reason as to why the county government wameka zile bins za kuweka takataka pale. Hata kama ni karatasi ya sweet, karatasi ya chupa ambayo umemalizia, make sure umeweka pale kwa dustbin. Na ile tabia ya watu kwa gari unamalizia chupa unairusha tu. Unairusha tu uko nje kwa sababu umepata kuna empty field, ama hata kuna wengine huwa wajali wanarusha tu mahali unarusha. Let us take care of our environment.
Yeah. In the happy Mazingira Day, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want for them.
Just want to say thank you and also to appreciate for the way they have been to our viewers kwa vile wamekuwa pamoja na sisi, na pia kuwakaribisha leo kwa that is kuna mpango ambao tunakuwa na kila Friday, mpango wa kesha. So umekaribishwa sana ili tuweze kujumuika pamoja. Mkuwe na siku njema yenye baraka. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much as well for tuning in for this segment. That is the current affairs. We always have to make sure that you, as a Kenyan citizen, you stay updated of what is happening that is in our country and beyond. We are going for a short break, then we'll be right back with Beyond the Headlines. Stay tuned.